On YouTube, Preeti asks, what is the thickness of cardboard you used? The answer to that question has many layers, and using the right kind of cardboard can massively take your cardboard crafting skills to the next level. That is why in this video, you're going to learn how to use the many different types and styles of cardboard so your creations can still be strong while looking fantastic. Most people who are serious about crafting with cardboard and create pretty complex models use a variety of different thicknesses of cardboard. So what you have to do is pick the right thickness of cardboard for the specific task of that piece of cardboard in your build. But you need to know something first. Cardboard is technically that thin stuff that comes in that cereal boxes are made out of. It's just this one layer of like really thick paper. This is cardboard. Technically, what we usually call cardboard is actually just called corrugated or corrugated cardboard. But really, if you talk to somebody or like a manufacturer of cardboard, they're just going to call this corrugated, and this is going to be your cardboard, your cereal box stuff. Don't mind if I do. Now, as you know, cardboard is made up of 2 layers of paper with one zigzag sandwich in between. That zigzag structure is called the fluting. And the fluting of your cardboard is what makes it a lot stronger. That triangular structure that it makes means that it doesn't bend very easily at all. And that is why this is way stronger than if you just sandwiched all 3 of these together flat. Cardboard is being shipped in all kinds of different ways. You have different thicknesses of cardboard being shipped because shippers, people shipping products, need to fulfill all kinds of different needs, whether the thing they're shipping is fragile and it needs to have more cushion, or if it just needs to be more puncture proof. They create a different kind of cardboard with a different kind of fluting. That is great for us because they're already making different kinds of cardboard, and now we can take those different specialty types of cardboard and combine them into a model to get the optimum strength and moldability. Now, if we're just meeting, my name is Eli Tennant, and this is Maker Brain. Here I upload a new video every week to help you access and implement your creativity with DIY cardboard projects. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, then make sure you subscribe down below. And if you're already getting value out of this video, then smash the like button because I've got a whole bunch more coming for you. Now, there are 5 main fluting types, and they each have a letter assigned to them. The first one is a flute. This is the Godzilla Death Star size cardboard fluting, and it is 48 millimeters thick, and it has 33 flutes per foot. And I have never actually used it. It's not very easy to find. It's not actually very common in shipping either, but it's for like super strong stuff, like life-size structures that you want to make out of this. Moving on, we have C flute as the next thickest. They don't really go in order of thickness to letter. They just kind of jump around. So the next thickest after A is C, and I have a piece of C fluting right here. This is 4 millimeters thick. It is 4 millimeters thick, and I measure that right here with my calipers. And then it has 39 flutes per foot. And I've used it for a good number of things, and it's got a very classic cardboard look because it's pretty thick and the wavy grain in there. The fluting is very obvious, and it is good for structural things because it's a bit thicker, and I've used it for some shelves and stuff like that. The next thickest is B fluting. I've got a little piece of B fluting right here. It is 3.2 millimeters thick and has 47 flutes per foot, so that the fluting there, the grain is a little more wavy, a little more pronounced. It goes back and forth faster because it's got 47 flutes per foot. And this is a really common one. I've probably used this and C fluting the most. Sometimes I get them a little mixed up since they are fairly similar in width and are interchangeable sometimes, but B fluting has a less distinct grain and it's a little bit thinner because it's only 3.2 millimeters thick. And C and B fluting are the most common in packaging, so that is part of the reason that they are the most commonly used by me, because I get all my cardboard from shipped boxes like Amazon boxes and things like that. After B comes D fluting, and D fluting, it's actually very rarely used, kind of like this lost cardboard grain thickness. Almost nobody uses it, and I don't think I've ever actually used a defluted cardboard. But after that, you have your E fluting. E fluting is very small. It's 1.6 millimeters thick, and it has 90 flutes per foot, so a lot of fluting in there because it's so small. And E fluting, if you can see right here, I have some E fluting on this prop. It's all of these little designs here on the front. They're very thin, and it is good for details like that, and it can be bent very easily, and the fluting isn't very obvious because it's so small and it goes back and forth really fast. The fluting just isn't as apparent as in like your C or your A. It's also very weak because it's so thin, it bends and crinkles more easily. So if you want to do something structural, you might want to go up to your C, but then with your E fluting, it is more bendable. So that helps you out there if you want to like go around a circle. Now, I didn't even know cardboard fluting went this deep till doing a little bit of research, and there's even more levels that I'm about to share with you. So if you're getting value, smash the like button. I want to remind you that there are always links and resources down in the description below, and I've even included a video from somebody who works for a cardboard box manufacturing company, and they go over the different types of fluting. It's a super entertaining, energetic video, so feel free to check that one out as well. Now, cardboard also has different wall types. The first one that you're most familiar with is going to be your single wall type, and this is where it's got a cardboard piece of paper on one side, a piece of paper on the other side, and the fluting in the middle, just like I was talking about. And it's this very classic cardboard look, but the front and back have this waviness, and the sides have this weird like side of a wave, which always looks ugly, and you gotta avoid that when you're crafting with it sometimes. After that, you have single face. Single face is basically just like a piece of single wall, but then you remove one of the faces and you're left with this wavy on one side and then a piece of paper on the other side. And this is very flexible. You can get single face by like ordering it or finding it. It's often used to like cushion objects, or you can just peel off one side of the single wall to get a single face piece of cardboard. The thing with this is because that triangle structure is now gone, it's just like these wavies. It's got triangles on one side but not the other, so it isn't strong. When we have here, there were triangles on both sides, just like a bridge. It holds together. Now it's just one side and it can bend freely. The thing is, it'll bend freely this way, but then it can't bend the other way. So it's good for like wrapping around cylinders and doing cool designs like that. It also, again, has this very classy cardboard look if you want to go for that. And just remember, it can't support very much weight. So beware of that, unless maybe you're going straight down from the top. So now we're jumping back up in strength with double wall cardboard. This is single wall, and then if you stack two single wall together, you get double wall. And oftentimes double wall is made of like a B flute and a C flute put together, so you have the different types of fluting with smaller flutes but a smaller piece of cardboard, and bigger flutes and a bigger piece of cardboard. Just gives it a lot of strength. The thing is, it's kind of hard to work with because those flutes don't line up. It can be annoying, but it is very strong, and the front and back can look a little odd with the different types of fluting stacked together, and the sides again are also going to look not so great in a cardboard creation. But if you want to learn how to cover up those unsightly edges of your cardboard, click on the video right here where I share all about that with you, teaching you a few deep tips. In the end, you want to pick the cardboard with the right wall and fluting type for whatever you're doing in your craft. But you don't need to overthink it. I only just learned the names to these cardboard, but I've been crafting with cardboard for years. So not knowing the names didn't stop me. You don't need to memorize them. What you really need to understand is the advantages and disadvantages of getting thicker cardboard with fewer flutes, and thinner cardboard with more flutes, or single wall, double wall, single face. You learn the advantages and disadvantages of those, then you don't need to actually know the exact names, because you can just be like, it's a thicker piece of cardboard, it's going to be able to support more weight. And with thicker pieces of cardboard, you're able to build 3D shapes a little more easily because they stack up thicker and thicker. If you're just going to stack them all on top of each other, sometimes that's one way to craft with cardboard. And just use what you have. If you don't have a B flute cardboard when you think that's the perfect one, just use a C flute, my friend. It's going to be okay. And when you think about the corrugation, the thinner the cardboard with more waves, more corrugations, more flutes per foot, the easier it's going to be to bend. And especially with like E flute, you can kind of shape it around stuff a little better because it's thinner and it can be molded a little more easily than your C flute, where anytime you try to bend it, it's kind of gonna just like fold at a flute. Another thing with the little flutes is that they won't fall apart when they're cut into little pieces. Like you can see on this, I have some pretty small pieces cut around here for these details, and if I was using a C flute for that, it would almost fall apart because the fluting would have the pieces on the top piece of paper would be supported by just like one flute, and then it kind of gets all wavy and shaky and it kind of falls apart. So if you're doing like really thin detailed work, you want to stick with a finer fluting in like the E-flute cardboard. And you can always use chipboard. That is what some people call the regular cardboard. They actually just call that chipboard, and you can use that for really detailed stuff as well too. But now I want to pass the question off to you. Have you already started using different types of cardboard to optimize the strength and shape of your creations? If you have, you're already on the right path. But I'd love to hear your answer in the comments below. I read and reply to every comment, so I'll be sure to connect with you down there. If you want to take your cardboard crafting ability to the next level, then click on this video right here where I break down the 13 tools that you need to get started crafting with cardboard. And I also share a free downloadable tool guide that you can get in that video. So make sure you click on that. Or this playlist over here. That's my Cardboard Basics playlist. Everything you need to know about working with cardboard, it's in there. So just pick one. Now, you're running out of time.